making the breakthrough with her third goal in as many WSL games. Rachel, I mean, again, this game has been competitive. Let's just hope we have a competitive second half.
Yeah, I think Emma Hayes at half-time will want more. She'll want more pace, momentum. You know, the one touch in midfield, that will take out kind of the pressure, because that's what West Ham are doing. They're pressing. Once you hold on to the ball, it allows the team to press you. And then in the final third, they have to be more clinical. That final ball has to be polished. It's not been good enough by Chelsea standards.
Still all to play for going into the second half here at Kingsmeadow. Half-time though, Chelsea 1, West Ham United 1.
Yeah, we do enjoy a London derby, and that was a brilliant first half, Farah. Obviously got underway very quickly with that early goal from West Ham, but what did you make of the opening 45 minutes?
It's been a really competitive game. We said before the game, will West Ham come out and press this Chelsea backline? And he did just that and got an early goal from it. So they've started on the front foot and then they've managed the game in between. They've pressed at times and they've dropped in at times and made it difficult. Chelsea have been quite frustrated. They've gone direct at times, but have managed to get the goal back before the half.
It's exactly what we said pre-match, wasn't it? That West Ham needed to get in their faces to press early on, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, West Ham played to their strengths. You know, if you know you can't compete in other areas, set pieces are always a chance to capitalise, and having players with that physical presence gives them a chance. And throughout the game, they were, you know, gave intensity, they pressed, they harassed, and you can see it all started from pressurising in the defensive third of Chelsea. Here, 3 West Ham players getting around the ball, you know, trying to create an attack on the flank here, and then all of a sudden Buchanan's under pressure and is forced to kick the ball out for a corner.
It's exactly what you said that Chelsea wouldn't want West Ham to do and wouldn't expect them to do, but they did it, and they did it so well.
They did. They put them on the back foot right from the off, but we just highlighted here from the corner. There's 3 West Ham players just sat on the edge of the box, unmarked. You can see the 3 Chelsea players that are aware of them, but they're not actually marking. I wouldn't say this is marking inside the box. You need to be touch tight, and it just allows, they get confused, they get in each other's way, and then we just see a free header there, and it's a fantastic header. The tallest player on the pitch with a free header. For West Ham, it's a great start, but the corner was a result of a high press from West Ham, which you spoke about in the build into the game, that they've done so well this season.
Let's give her some credit, because that was a brilliant header. We can say that the Chelsea defending wasn't good enough, but she'll be proud of that one.
It's a fantastic header, and, you know, she's got physical presence. It is difficult for defenders sometimes, but, you know, you would expect someone to just put her off balance a little bit, because she has all the time to go and see the ball, see the flight of the ball and attack it and make that contact.
Wouldn't have caught Anita Asante given her that much space, would we? Let's take a look at the Chelsea chances, because they did have plenty of opportunities before eventually finding the breakthrough, particularly by their Australian forward Sam Kerr. It did look like at one point it really wasn't going to be Chelsea's day, Farah.
It did. She's hit the woodwork twice, and I said there that West Ham have forced Chelsea into playing the long balls, and Sam Kerr will love this, because she's very good at playing on the back shoulder, gets herself into some really good positions. She's hit the post once. You see her, she just stays alive here on the edge of the box. It comes from the corner. I think we'll see her second chance where she hits the post as it comes out. She's just alive on the edge of the box and hits it first time, hard and low, and it hits the post. And Chelsea are probably thinking this first 45 they're not going to get a goal.
Yeah, it did look that way, didn't it? But they finally got the breakthrough on the 40th minute, and it was her again. It was Fran Kirby.
You know, Fran Kirby, 3 and 3. She's just on fire, I think. And the thing with Fran is that she always finds herself in the right positions and spaces. And again, it's a second phase ball where it's a lovely dugout cross from Brighton, and she just digs it out from under her left foot and is able to just tuck it into that bottom left-hand corner. And to be fair, Chelsea have been knocking on the door throughout the game. They've had a lot of chances, and I was worried that West Ham were backing into their 18-yard box, and eventually, you know, they would break that deadlock, and they did.
I think West Ham here will be disappointed. I think the Grace Fist clearance wasn't long enough. It didn't clear the lines, and it just resulted in Brighton on the left-hand side digging out a cross. And as you mentioned there, it's a fantastic finish by Fran Kirby, but I think the clearance initially, they'll be disappointed that they didn't clear the lines properly.
I was going to say, how disappointed will West Ham be, because they'd faced so many chances, they'd cleared them, and just 5 minutes before half-time conceding.
Yeah, they'll be thoroughly disappointed, because they started off the game really brightly and disciplined. You know, we said all over the park, in each department they had intensive pressure on the ball, they defended really well in their box and cleared the lines majority of the time, and one miscue led to the goal.
I think that's just it. West Ham, in terms of defending their box, every first contact from deliveries that were coming in from Chelsea, whether it be a long ball, whether it be a cross, they actually had first contacts that were really good. That one chance that Chelsea get where they haven't cleared their lines properly, they end up scoring from it.
Well, second half still to come, but we're going to turn our attention now to the Lionesses, because in case you hadn't noticed, we are still very much enjoying that England are European champions, and over the past few weeks we have been reliving it with some of the Lionesses that made themselves legends.
It was just the belief that everyone had in us. You know, for me, going into a tournament, I've come close a few times in semi-finals, so you do start to maybe wonder that it's not going to quite happen for you. But I felt this was the first time, you know, family, friends, people who I was talking to, they were like, you know, you guys are really good.
I don't think I've ever stopped and just thought about everything. I still don't think it's hit me that I actually have a gold medal. It's the best summer of your lives. Like, it's the one dream you have as a player is to win a major trophy, not only for your club but for your country. I think it's the biggest trophy you can win, really. It was an unbelievable summer, and I think you have to look back on those journeys and see how, you know, from the beginning, where did we get to and how did we get there, and it's definitely remarkable.
It's in! Chloe Kelly!
Still, I think to this day it's so hard to put into words. Like, you literally have to be there. It's, yeah, incredible.
It was amazing, you know, to see all these people come out, literally just to see us, you know, come out on a stage and have a bit of a dance and a sing-along. It's something that I never thought would ever happen in the women's game. You turn up there and there was just so many people, and it was, yeah, a really, really amazing moment and a really pinch me moment as well, just because I just didn't expect it to be the way it was.
We did it after every single game in the changing room, so it was just natural. And then Leah just threw me the microphone and was like, go on, do your thing. And at that point I couldn't say no, everyone was watching. Been on stage with Rach and the rest of the girls, it was class, and you know, she sang her song, which we've done at every single game. I think every bus journey she's belted it out, so yeah, what moment to do it. The best thing is most people are saying, like, you've inspired me or you've inspired my children to get involved, like now my daughter's playing, and for me that's an even bigger thing to say than well done, because that's exactly what we want to do as a team. We want to inspire people to get involved.
The overall reception from everyone has been amazing. It's been really, really nice to see the switch in how people are talking about women's football, how people act around women's football, how many people have watched the game, how many people are going to watch the games coming up in the WSL. It's just helped a massive culture shift in the country, and hopefully, you know, we can keep building on that.
We keep saying about we want it to be bigger, but actually we need to, you know, just zoom out a little bit, and it's huge. Like, women's football is huge right now. We appreciate absolutely everything that's gone into the game and all the people that have worked so hard. I think what do we want more is for the summer and the crowd to continue, for that not to just be a one-off, for that to be the start now, and that's the foundation, and we can only go in one direction from there, which is to fill out the WSL games and really bring that atmosphere from the summer into the league.
And Fran Kirby has returned to the England squad, announced yesterday after injury. Friendlies against the Czech Republic and the world champions, the USA, at Wembley coming up. There are first senior call-ups for West Ham's Lucy Parker on the pitch tonight, of course, and Jess Park on loan at Everton from Manchester City. And on that note, let's head further along pitch side. Joe Curry is joined by a very special guest from the FA.
Yes, Kelly Simmons, who's director of the women's professional game in this country, is with me. Kelly, first of all, thanks for joining us. We've just been hearing from some of the Lionesses reflecting on that wonderful European win that we saw this summer. They're back at Wembley next Friday for the World Champions USA. It's going to be another wonderful occasion, I'm sure.
It's going to be fantastic. We sold out in 24 hours, which just shows you, doesn't it, the level of support for the Lionesses and where the women's game is at. And it's great as well because we invited all the previous Lionesses. You know, it's really important to remember the people that helped us to get to this point. So it's going to be a very, very special day, and of course really tough opposition in the World Champions. So great tests for preparations for the World Cup coming up.
Yeah, Serena's talked about what a big test it's going to be. It's going to be wonderful to see 90,000 fans at Wembley. But in the Women's Super League, domestically, we saw some big attendances in the weekend just gone as well. We saw record breaks broken at individual matches, and collectively 89,000 fans came out to watch games. I'm sure the FA were delighted. Are those the kind of numbers you expected to be seeing after that European win?
It is. We're really confident that that we could get some really big attendances. We've got some great games. You can see tonight the quality of the product is absolutely fantastic. We've had a number of games in main stadiums. You know, broke the record at the weekend, over 47,000 for the Arsenal game, but 27,000 as well at Anfield. A number of clubs have seen their record attendance, so it's great 2 weeks in that we're smashing those records.
And how confident are the FA that those fans are not just come out for these big one-off games at big stadiums, they're going to come back week after week?
Yeah, really confident, because I think the quality of the product is everything, and it's fantastic, you know. And so I think the Lionesses win and the Euros showed the top quality women's football in this country. And what we've been doing is saying you can see this week out in the Women's Super League. You know, got some of the great English talent, some of the world's best players here, and so you know, it's not a surprise to us that people are coming out in significant numbers to support the Women's Super League.
Yeah, and plenty of fans have come out tonight here at Kingsmeadow as well. Kelly, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the second half.
Yes, thank you very much to both Joe and Kelly. A really exciting time for women's football in this country. And a reminder, we've got coverage of the World Cup playoffs to come on the BBC on Thursday, the 6th of October at 7:15. Wales versus Bosnia on 7:35. Scotland taking on Austria. Then on Tuesday, the 11th of October, it'll either be Scotland or Austria taking on the Republic of Ireland, and Switzerland taking on Wales or Bosnia. Coverage of all of those across the BBC. Now, staying with international football, European football, I should say. Some good news for Arsenal fans and all WSL lovers. Arsenal have won their second qualifying round, second leg of the Champions League against Ajax. That means they're through to the group stage. It was Viviana Miedema on target there, so some really good news for Jonas Eidevall and their team. Farah and Anita are still alongside me. That's brilliant news, isn't it, to see Arsenal into the group stages?
It's great news. We want all of our top teams representing our league on the biggest stage, and Arsenal, you know, they had a tough home fixture against Ajax, you know, drawing 2-2, so to go away and not concede and get that goal, they'll be really pleased with that.
Especially since, you know, they had a lot of chances in the away leg and they really should have won that. But it's great to see them get a clean sheet, get through to the group stage, and that's, you know, their next phase of their journey.
And as I said as well, it's just good for the WSL, isn't it, to have Arsenal in the Champions League?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're a club that want to go for all trophies. You know, they haven't won a trophy since 2019. So this is an important step for them as well.
Yeah, congratulations to Jonas Eidevall. Well, that is Sunday night. Here's a reminder of what's happened here tonight so far.
Chelsea have very much had the better of West Ham in the WSL era. Can Paul Konchesky's side pull up another early season upset? It's a decent delivery. Ross Bignell's dot in, and it's in! How about that? Well, how on earth did you keep that out? It's Kerr! Post. Chelsea not the sharper so far. Kirby! And there it is!
Well, the second half is about to get underway.